volunteer with Quad City Harm Reduction, and I'll just share a little story with you about a reversal that I took part in just last Thursday. A person who also volunteers with Quad City Harm Reduction called me on the telephone and said that an associate of hers and her boyfriend were driving around. The boyfriend had overdosed on heroin and they had no Narcan with them in the car. She asked for my address because I keep a supply of Narcan in my house. And I gave them my address and they said that they were on their way. I loaded up 3 syringes of Narcan, and this was about 11 o'clock at night, and I went out, stood out on my front porch, and with the syringes behind my back, they came pulling up into the front yard, and I ran out and administered all 3 syringes and to his leg, and still no response. I gave him rescue breaths and then realized that still wasn't working. I ran back into my house, loaded up 3 more syringes of Narcan, ran back outside. I hit him with another vial, and then he started to choke a little bit. I gave him more rescue breaths, hit him with the 5th vial of Narcan, and then more rescue breaths. And then after slapping his face a little bit, he woke up and he started breathing. And we went inside and I got them some water and they went on their way. This particular person had warrants, and a lot of times, unfortunately, people have to make the choice between saving their friend or going to jail. And that is really why they involved me, and we were able to save his life and he was able to go on his way without involving the authorities. It was obviously fentanylized heroin, which is extremely common nowadays. We also give out a lot of fentanyl test strips, and I'm finding that a large percentage of the heroin that circulates around our area has fentanyl in it. Obviously, people who use drugs, our police officers, our medics, business owners in neighborhoods that are affected by this problem, family members, bus drivers. I mean, as much Narcan as can be in the community, anybody can save somebody's life if they're carrying Narcan.
Could you just unlock it for me? Okay. Oh no! Hey! Hey! Oh no. Okay. I think I have my Narcan get on me. I really hope so. Hey, are you alright? Gotta get some air into you. dose. Come on. We gotta save this lady. 1 milliliter. All right. Muscle. Okay. She's still not breathing very well. Come on. Oh, starting with the pain. Hey. Hey. You're all right. You okay? You're okay. Just breathe. Okay. Hey, how are you feeling? Do we need something to drink? We have an ambulance on the way. They're gonna help you, okay? Why don't we sit you up?
Alright, so while I was out and about, I stopped at a hotel and to see some of my friends that stayed out there. And when I was going upstairs, everybody came running out the room, and I looked in there and there was somebody laid out on the floor. And I went in there and checked on them. They was not responsive, so I went out to the car and got my Narcan kit, and I went back upstairs and I did a sternum rub on him, and I checked to see if he had a pulse, and he didn't. He had a pulse. I called 911. And I shot him in the leg. I shot him with Narcan. Oh, he made it. He came back. I used a couple of vials on him. He was pretty angry when he came back, but he made it. Absolutely nothing. Narcan cannot hurt you at all. One of us, me, you, Narcan is not active unless you are in an opiate overdose. Narcan will not have any effect on you. I can inject it right now and it won't do. It'll be like water entering my muscles. I believe everybody should carry Narcan. If you're old enough to understand what it is, how to use it, and when to use it, I believe everybody should carry it. My cousins, they're in middle school and they carry Narcan. So I believe everybody should carry it. It's a wonderful thing to have.
I was a new volunteer, and I had gotten into the habit of carrying my Naloxone kit in my purse everywhere I went. And my cousin, who is an active user, called me and said that she was in a parking lot across town and that her friend she thought was overdosing in their car. I don't know if I've ever driven that fast in my life, but I drove pretty fast to get there, and sure enough, he was overdosing. It was a little awkward because he was in the car. It was hard to get to him. But after doing a sternum rub to make sure he was non-responsive, trying to wake him up, I gave him a dose of naloxone. In between, I was trying to corral two people who were being overreactive because he was breathing on his own, but he was not responding. So the best advice I have is just to stay calm in that situation and let the person who knows what they're doing make sure that they can save that life. It ended up taking me 3 doses of naloxone, which was all I had on me at the time. So that was probably the scariest experience of that whole endeavor. Mixing drugs can put you at a greater risk for overdose, such as benzos, alcohol, any kind of methamphetamines. Another thing is fentanyl. That's an opiate. It's much smaller and stronger, so mixed into any other drugs can cause an opiate overdose. Getting out of jail or any period of abstinence, we are pushing because we believe it's really, really important that when you get out of jail you have a Narcan kit on your person. Right now we're not getting any headway with our local county jails, but we are still trying, and we believe that having that on you when you leave and getting medicated assisted treatment is incredibly important in our county jails. I think the most common form of opiates we see lately have been methamphetamines and heroin. It seems like there's fentanyl in every street drug. We noticed that the pills, the prescriptions, all those kinds of painkillers, stuff like that, hasn't really been increasing since 2011. It's been decreasing. So we would encourage everybody who uses or knows somebody who uses street drugs, including any person who may walk across somebody, to carry the naloxone on them.